Now that we have understood the concept of interest rates and how they play a role, the spot forwards and all, using those interest rates, how are we determining what should be the forward price? What should be the future price? Let's say for a commodity or even for any asset. Let's say for a stock. I want to find out, probably I want to buy the stock after 1 year or 1 month. What should be the price I should be willing to pay? Similarly, we have seen the commodities. If I want to purchase the commodity after 1 month, what should be the appropriate price that needs to be paid for that? See, what is it being lost within this 1 month? What is lost is the interest. So, by taking in the interest into consideration, how do I do the pricing of any commodity or any security for the forward or the future market? That is what is typically governed in this chapter. So, when we are understanding some basic things here, we are categorizing our assets into an investment asset versus a consumption asset. Wherein some assets, some securities like your agricultural securities, agricultural commodities, they are purely from a consumption perspective. Sometimes probably people use gold also as a consumption. Whereas in some cases, gold is being used as an investment asset. Stocks, bonds, they are all typically your investment assets where you don't consume them. Whereas when it comes to agricultural commodities or probably for some companies, even iron or various metals or even a precious metal also, for some company it becomes a consumption asset. Probably someone purchases platinum not as an investment, but or someone purchases silver not as an investment but more as a raw material in some goods. So for different people, it could be, some of them could be consumption asset, some of them could be purely investment kind of asset. The pricing of both these futures is completely different. Depending on whether I understand that particular product as a consumption asset or an investment asset, the pricing of the futures market will differ between the two. Because in consumption asset, there is a good possibility that I may require some storage for it, or I may have to look at it from not spoiling. The consumption asset, if they don't, if it is not used within a time frame, probably it get perished. So there are so many other problems that are associated with the consumption assets. Any agricultural commodities, they have to be consumed within a particular period of time. Otherwise, they are going to get spoiled. Whereas a stock or a bond, if not today, after 6 months also, I have no issues. It has nothing to get damaged in that case. So even if we are taking off gold, even if it is an investment asset, gold has some level of storage. Some kind of security has to be provided to that gold. So depending on the characteristics that are associated with that particular type of asset, we determine the future prices accordingly. And to find out the pricing part, there are two major areas we have to be slightly comfortable with, wherein we are discussing about short positions. The reason being, in derivatives market compared to a regular security market, in a regular security market, the most common strategy is buy, hold, sell. The most common strategy, because shorting is allowed, but it is on a very short term basis. Probably today we have short sell, which we can do at most of the brokerages. Most of the brokerages permit us to do short sell, but mostly intraday. I cannot do it on a probably a 30-day basis or something like that. Whereas when it comes to the derivative market, I can enter into a short position and keep it until the maturity. So shorting is a very common feature when we talk about the derivative market. Shorting is nothing but we are selling it without owning it. In case of the securities market, there are a lot of restrictions with respect to shorting. Or even when we talk about typical things like mutual funds. In a mutual fund, there are a lot of restrictions, even for a fund manager. There are a lot of restrictions for a fund manager that He can take only long positions. He cannot take short positions. So shorting is in a regular security market. Shorting is looked at as a as something where there are so many restrictions put on it. Whereas when it comes to derivatives, without owning anything, I can short unlimited amounts. There's a significant amount of shorting which I can go with, wherein I'm selling without owning it. So which means I'm actually borrowing the securities or the underlying from the broker, creating a short sale position and taking the proceeds. And in that case, whenever we are using the word shorting in a generic sense also, we are borrowing the securities from the broker and we have to return the securities back to the broker either when he asks for it or when we have closed out the position. And until that time, whatever the proceeds that we have got through the short sale, that entire thing would be deposited with the broker itself as a kind of backup, as a kind of collateral kind of stuff. It would be deposited with the broker itself. But in some cases, what happens if the broker is running out of the securities? If the broker is running out of the securities because he has lent you, but you did not return it back to him, in that case, he is running out of the securities. So, whenever the broker runs out of the securities, he may forcibly close your position also. Because, see, the securities which are deposited with the broker are nothing but those which might have, which he must be holding stock of. So, he has lent them to you. So, if he really wants to close out his position, he may ask your securities back. In that case, whatever the short you have done, that short position is forcefully closed off. Whenever the short position is forcefully closed off, we are calling it a short squeeze. A normal short position when you are doing a close on it, whenever you have got a better price for it, we are calling it as a normal short selling position. But if forcibly closing of that position is happening, then it is called as a short squeeze. So in any short transaction, couple of things we have to be very careful of. See, the broker has lent you the securities here, right? They are not your own. Broker has lent you the security. So what we are saying is any kind of a dividend or any other cash flow that comes on that security, typically with shares, dividend is possibility. Any kind of a dividend that is declared on that shares, they belong to the broker only. They belong to the broker, they don't belong to the party. One. Two, the collateral with the broker has to be deposited as a guarantee that you will buy back and refund back. See, sometimes you have taken the shares from the broker, sold them, but you are enjoying the proceeds. So, to make sure that you are refunding back the shares to him, for that amount, whatever the sale proceeds you are getting, you are actually depositing that sale proceed as a part of the collateral with the broker itself. So you are not. It's not that you are selling the shares, getting the money. You cannot withdraw that money. So basically, until you buy back the share and refund back the shares to the broker, that money is kept as a collateral with the broker itself. Right. This is what is a very important aspect in the pricing. Whenever we are deciding the forward price, we are talking about the spot price and the continuous compounding interest for whatever is the expiry period. Right? If I am saying the forward is for 3-month period, today's price is some S naught. Applying continuous compounding formula, it simply becomes e power RT. S naught into e power RT, where R is whatever is the required rate of return and If at all we are talking about a guaranteed rate of return, it should be risk-free rate of return only, right? Otherwise, if we are taking out 10% extra, 20% extra kind of stuff, then there is a risk also associated with it. So generally, while valuing all these kind of securities, the R which we take is typically the risk-free rate of return itself, because that is what is a guaranteed amount that should come out. If I'm let's say waiting, I have two decisions with me: purchase today for 100, or purchase after 1 month, or probably purchase after 1 year to make the scenario easy. Purchase today. If I am purchasing it today, I should purchase it at 100. If I am purchasing it after 1 month or 1 year, probably I can purchase it at 108 also. Assuming 8% is the interest rate, what is the moment? 100 I will deposit somewhere where I will get an assured return. Let's say that assured return is 8%. So 100 will become assured 108 after 1 year, right? With that 108, I can purchase it, which means both of them are one and the same. Purchasing it at 100 today or purchasing it at 108 after 1 year, both of them are one and the same, because I could have very well used this 100 into some investment which will assuredly give me some 8% return, and use that proceeds to purchase the asset after 1 year. But in this process, what could have easily happened? If I had bought it today, I should have taken care of the maintenance of it. I should have taken care of the insurance for it. I don't know. There could be various other costs to protect that asset right from now. But if I want it after 1 year, what is the point in purchasing now, thinking that it is available at 100 only today, if I can purchase the same at 108 after 1 year? So what typically happens in this transaction? I will enter into a forward contract with someone saying I will purchase this at 108 from you after 1 year, right? So in that case, the maintenance and insurance and other protecting things, they don't lie with you. The other party has to take care of all those things. So that is where you are entering into the forward contract. And now what we are saying is, what is that forward rate? Now in this example, we said 108 could be the forward price, right? Because I am trying to purchase it after, so these two are very much the same. 100 now, 108 after 1 year.